Oh, for goodness sake. 1 second, someone's at my door. Oh my goodness. What a nightmare. Delivery driver at my door, and it wasn't even for my house. Can you believe that? Absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. Hello guys, welcome to the live stream. Welcome. This is kind of like a bit of an emergency live stream, to be honest with you, because Spurs are in chaos. Spurs are in absolute turmoil. Absolute turmoil. And there's some serious stuff that we need to discuss. Some serious stuff that we need to discuss. So yeah, this is what that's for. Welcome. I'm sorry. I'm just posting this out on socials so people can hop in and say hello. Hello. That's what we're saying. That. Hello. Right. Where are we? There we are. Yeah, absolute chaos yesterday. Spurs. Oh, apparently I've got two live streams going. That's a little bit confusing. What the hell's going on there? The hell? Bear with me, guys. I don't know what's happening right now. Why do I have two live streams going on at the same time? One horizontal and one vertical. Don't like that. Really don't like that. But alas, welcome to the live stream. Get down in the comments what you're making about everything that's going on at the moment, because goodness me, it's absolute chaos. Holly, how you doing? Can't stay for long, ready to get to Thomas Frank. I think we all are. We are all ready to get off the Thomas the Frank engine. Emergency Tottenham meeting. Just going to tweet that out. Emergency Tottenham meeting. Get on in here. There we go. Lovely. Cool. Right. There we go. Yeah. We're all good. Right. Sorry about that. Back and ready to go. I've just been trying to sort out bloody TikTok as well, which is a right nightmare. So yeah, last night, crazy. I couldn't quite believe what I was watching. And to be honest with you, I wasn't surprised. Am I being harsh in that sense? But I was expecting to lose and expecting to concede a winner. And we did exactly that. Spurs did what Spurs do. And I kind of went off on one a little bit in my reaction video yesterday about just the state that the club are in at the moment. And it's a sorry state. There's complete silence from the board, from ENIC, from the Lewis family, from Johan Langer, from Vinay. And it's just not good enough. I feel like I always say, do Spurs have a toxic fan base? And I've literally just recorded a video on it that's going out tonight. But the answer, I think, is no. I think the answer is no. Spurs don't have a toxic fan base. Tottenham have made Spurs fans so angry. There's no getting around that. Spurs have made this situation themselves. And it's such a shame because I don't even necessarily think that we played too badly yesterday. I really don't think we played too badly at all. And it's crazy because we could have won the game. We could have at least got a point out of it, right? And instead, we're sat here in absolute crisis mode thinking, well, what do we do next? What do we do next? Because we've got a few options, right? We sack Thomas Frank now, and then we either bring in a permanent successor immediately, or we bring in an interim manager until the summer, and then we reassess the manager market in the summer. Alternatively, we just give him more time, but I can't accept that. I can't get my head around that. What are other people saying? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Callum, how you doing, man? Thinking about Van der Ven's interview where he clearly still likes and respects Postecoglou. I think the board underestimated the effect on team spirit of sacking him for this clipboard merchant. Clipboard merchant's a new one. First time I've heard that. But yeah, I agree. A lot of the players probably felt very grateful towards Ange Postecoglou, Mickey van der Ven included, right? Because Mickey van der Ven, in that interview he did with Sky Sports, was talking about how all of his friends were telling him, if you go to Tottenham, you're not going to win anything. You are not going to win anything. And he did. He did. And that's a crazy thing to believe, right? That we actually won a trophy 6 months ago. Or, well, a bit more than that now. But holy moly, how far have we fallen since then? Yo, Spotlight, big up. Frank in yet? Absolutely not. I do think we have to cut ties, and I'm very interested to hear what he has to say in his press conference today. He's literally about to do his press conference, so I'm going to be keeping you up to date on that. All of the going ons for that. We'll see what he's saying, but blimey. Kookaburra, hi from Australia. It's after midnight, but stayed up for this. Didn't want to miss it. That is legendary. Thank you very much. I appreciate you staying up for that. It's yeah. We are in such a mental situation right now. Such a mental situation. I can't believe it. Spurs are on fire. You just got to insert that meme of that guy just sitting in the middle of the fire and it's "This is fine" written at the bottom. That is currently the state of Spurs. That is currently the state of Spurs. The thing is, I don't even really feel like we had a honeymoon period, right? I don't even feel like we had that honeymoon period. At least with Ange. And by the way, I'm not obviously advocating for Ange and all of this sort of stuff. And by the way, ignore the setup, it's not finished yet. Football going up there, something going in there, and then something on that shelf as well with some nice lighting and stuff. But I'm still in the process. But we never even really had a honeymoon period under Thomas Frank. We were never amazing. We were never really that good. And we've just regressed and gotten worse and gotten worse and gotten worse. And I see people defending Thomas Frank on social media. And they say, yeah, well, he just needs more time. He just needs to be backed in the transfer markets. He got 100 million plus to spend in the summer. Keith Andrews was his set-piece coach, is 6 points ahead of us. It's not a good look at all. I mean, the bloke is too scared to come over and applaud and speak to the away fans after games because he knows he's going to get abused. Because he knows he's going to get booed. I mean, that's pretty reflective of the job you're doing, don't you think? The most loyal fans who travel up and down the country to all of the away games, they will voice their opinions about you. I don't blame them. I don't blame them for what they're saying. 90 saying, do you think Xavi Hernandez would be interested? I think he'd be interested in managing in the Premier League. I do feel like everybody's top choice is going to be Manchester United in the summer, though, unfortunately. The opportunity to manage Manchester United is obviously a huge job, right? An absolutely huge job. Do you know what I think will happen? I think Spurs will give Thomas Frank until the summer. Unfortunately, reluctantly. I hate the idea of that, by the way. because we could have nothing to play for by the end of the weekend. Oh, sorry, dropped something. We could have nothing to play for if we lose to Aston Villa on Saturday. No FA Cup, no Carabao Cup. We're not going to win the Champions League, as defeatist attitude as that may be. So it'll be about pride. Are we really going to... I don't want to be playing for pride in the middle of January when the season finishes in May. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So what I think might happen is we might give Thomas Frank until the summer. And they'll do this mini review, whatever it is. And then after that, they might try and get Poch back after the World Cup in the summer. Genuinely, I can see that storyline panning out. Would I be entirely against it? It's really tough to say, to be honest. It's tough to say. I love Poch. I think I would take him back. But is that just a representation of how dire things are at Spurs right now? Is that just a reflection of that? Would we just take anyone at this point? I mean, let me know what you think. Get in the comments. Let's have a chat about it. Let's have a conversation. But either way, the idea of... there we go. The idea of this today is that... is there an actual emergency meeting or is that speculation? I think it's speculation, to be honest. This is my emergency meeting about Thomas Frank and Spurs. If we're not relegated by then, yeah. I've heard Robbie Keane mooted. I personally wouldn't fancy him after managing Maccabi Tel Aviv. Yeah, understood. Core of the problem is the board, but the manager and the players are not immune from play. Exactly. And I've said this several times. The issues are so deep-rooted, right? So deep-rooted. Sorry, I'm just going to make myself a little bit smaller and drag myself across. Shout out George Achillia for the setup on this, by the way. I really like the layout. If you're watching on desktop, and that means you got the chat in the little bottom corner as well. Yeah, the club is rotten. The club is rotten from top to bottom. From the ownership to the hierarchy to everything else in between, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are rotten. And I can't believe I have to sit and watch Spurs in that situation all the time, right? We shouldn't have to sit here and look at how bad Spurs... we won a trophy in May. We won the Europa League. We're playing Champions League football. Champions League football. And yet here we are. Fears of getting relegated. I don't think anyone actually thought we were going to get relegated last season, right? I don't think anyone thought that. But I tell you what, we are incredibly lucky that West Ham are really, really poor this season. Because they are so incredibly poor. So incredibly poor. And if it were not for West Ham being really poor, there's, I feel, a significant chance that we could end up down in that mix. Do you know how demoralising and disappointing that is to hear? Check Ali Gold. I think Thomas Frank's presser is well underway. So yeah, oh God, yeah, we'll have a look. Just going live on TikTok, guys. Sorry. Add a topic. Chat and interview. Thank you so much, guys, for popping along to the live streams, by the way. Absolute legans. Thank you so much. Get in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear all of your thoughts. Mr. Dung, thank you so much for the subscription on YouTube, my guy. Legend. Yeah, if you're enjoying the content, guys, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the follow button on TikTok, all of that stuff. We're going to get through this. I promise we're going to get through this. Right, let me catch up with some comments. Never forget, so this is the multi-channel saying, never forget with this board and manager, things could get even much worse. I feel like the worst things could get for Spurs is we get relegated. And the worrying thing for me is that it doesn't feel like we're that far off it, if that makes sense. Any manager does need time, and it won't be smooth. But I think our patience is rock bottom for the 5th or 6th incarnation of the painful rebuild Poch talked about. If I could... I wish for the life of me that I could turn back time. Green Badge, thank you for the follow on TikTok, man. For the life of me, I wish I could turn back time to the good old day and go back to that Pochettino era. I'm not sure, I can't remember who it was that posted it on social media, but I saw them make a joke. I think it might have been Ben Bowman, actually. And he made a joke, and he was like, this is the lineup I would go for the Bournemouth game. And he goes, in goal, Hugo Lloris. Right back, Kyle Walker. Centre backs, Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen. Left back, Danny Rose. In midfield, Victor Wanyama, Moussa Dembele. Up front, Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen, Heung-min Son, and who am I missing? Harry Kane. Yeah, just our greatest goal scorer ever. When you hear that team and compare it to our team now, oh my words. Oh my words. Sissoko as well. Yes, Tom. Absolutely. Jack, you don't think he's going anywhere? Yeah, I agree. I think they'll keep him until the summer. Mems, I can't bother to go to the Villa game. Just feel like giving my ticket. Oh, me too. I don't know why I've bought a ticket for Saturday. Just catching up with your comments. Apologies. Apologies. I'm getting there. Keeping Frank till the summer makes a sense at a board level, but not if we get close to relegation, of course. And it does feel like we're falling that way. You would think United won the Europa League by our table is looking right now. I know. United actually have standards. That's why we don't. We don't have that big mentality standards. You think we'll sign someone soon? I don't. Which is bizarre to think. Is it possible we're going down this season? I can't accept that. I mean, there would be riots. And the club would be sold. Alex desperately wants Pochettino back. That's fair. I wouldn't be against him being back. So yeah. Where's our Gaza, Ginola, Bale, Son, Kane? All of these players. Right. That's fantastic news, everybody. Confirmed by Thomas Frank that he is not expecting Mohamed Kudus to be back until after the March international break. We're cooked. We're cooked, guys. We are absolutely finished. Always possible that Spuds go down. Which is what a crazy thing to say. A crazy thing to say. But it's the reality of the situation. Wow. Yeah, I agree. Time can only be given to those with whom you can see some sort of conviction, progress, improvement, whereas with Frank, it's just the same and dull every game. We have shown no improvement under Thomas Frank compared to how we played last season. Right, the style of football may be different. The style of football may not be as entertaining, but we're not better. We're not better off in terms of points. I saw a statistic the other day that showed us that Thomas Frank has the lowest win percentage of any Tottenham manager, any of the 10 last Tottenham managers. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Honestly. I'm 54 and I've never known us to not have a world-class player. Exactly. And as painful as it is to say, and as much as we might want to sit here and say, oh yeah, well, maybe Van der Ven's world-class, maybe Romero's world-class, maybe they're just not. Maybe they're just not. At least Benson calls out too. That's one positive. Poor guy. Poor guy. If Frank does go, who do we get? I would love Robbie Keane before Celtic get him. But this is the thing, Dave. And I love Robbie, and he's a Spurs legend and all of that. But it's a risk. It's a big risk coming off the back of what's going on here. Kulu should just retire. West Ham at the lane will tell us we're a relegation risk. If we lose to West Ham, yes, Kudus out until March. This is confirmed. What you're seeing on the screen right now is confirmed. Mohamed Kudus is out until March. Until the March break. I can't believe it. I honestly cannot believe it. What else is being said in this? Here we go. Thomas Frank on Dejan Kulusevski. He got an injection 10 days ago. We'll know in 3 to 4 weeks whether that has settled, and then he can get back on the grass. He's not even back on the grass yet. What is our medical team? What is our medical team? What's the point in our medical team? He's going to miss the whole season. I'm telling you right now, we will not see Kulusevski turn out for us this season. I genuinely don't see it happening. What's the point? What is the point? Look, I don't think we will get relegated, right? That's naive. West Ham are like 14 points behind us. We won't get relegated. It's not that bad. Dave, thank you for the follow on TikTok, my man. Absolute legend. But we have to address this. We have to address this. Joe Lewis is a fraud and should be in jail. They must all leave Spurs. What a mess. Leah, thank you so much for the follow on TikTok. Hey up, thank you for the subscription on YouTube, my man. Welcome, welcome. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're on TikTok, hit that follow button. Is it that bad? Yeah, things are bad, man. Mate, is that an Arsenal Pepsi Max can? I can't show you. It's got an Arsenal badge on it. I've converted to the dark side. Converted to the dark side. Is Frank going? Harv, here's my honest opinion. I don't think he is. I think Thomas Frank is going to be given until the summer. I really do. I really, really do. Thomas Frank says he and Johan Lang had a good conversation with Romero this morning after his Instagram post. Really? Legit? Should we have a look? So these are the other injury updates for those of you interested from Spurs. Pepsi Max is goated, James, you know. My boy. Lucas Bergvall set to be assessed today. Rodrigo Bentancur also to be assessed today, but Thomas Frank admitted his injury. Looks like a bigger one. So we now are in a situation where we've got... I don't know if you could hear that. That's some nice ASMR stuff. Let me just rattle these off for you. Dominic Solanke. James Maddison. Dejan Kulusevski. Rodrigo Bentancur. Lucas Bergvall. Mohamed Kudus. Destiny Udogie. 7, you could argue key players that are injured, right? Get Amorim in. Behave yourself, Aaron. Behave yourself, excuse me. Bubbles up in the chest. So you could argue there you've got 7 big injuries. Does that impact our performance? Yes. Does that maybe impact where we are on the table? Maybe a little bit. But Thomas Frank still has tools to work with, and I don't want to hear any excuses about that. I mean, Lucas Bergvall played right wing yesterday, for goodness sake. Why? Why did Lucas Bergvall play right wing yet? He's a good player. He should be playing in his best position. Right? Do you think any other man... I think a good manager could. And this is the other thing, right? Again, now let's talk about the potential managers available in the summer. And this is all hypothetical, of course, for now, because we don't know what's going to happen, right? But you've got Oliver Glasnow's not going to renew at Crystal Palace. You've got Antonio Iraola, who's undoubtedly going to assess his options at the end of the summer. Thomas Tuchel's not guaranteed to stay with England past the World Cup. Mauricio Pochettino, I think, has a clause in his USA contract that says he could potentially leave after the World Cup, and he's made it very, 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 very clear that he wants to come back to the Premier League. Xavi, still available. You've also got, and look, I'm just listing managers, by the way. It doesn't have to be realistic. Luis Enrique saying that potentially he wants a new challenge after PSG. So there's, Enzo Maresca. There's no guarantee that he's going to be at City next summer if Pep Guardiola decides to stick around for a couple more years. So there are going to be managers available on the market. There are going to be managers available on the market to potentially go out there and get. When is Kulusevski back? We just covered that, Andres. Basically, never. I don't think he's going to be back this season. He's not even back on the grass yet. Thomas Frank saying that they need to wait another 3 to 4 weeks, at least, to see if he can go back on the grass. Absolutely mental. De Zerbi from Marseille. De Zerbi would crash and burn at Spurs. In my humble opinion, De Zerbi would crash and burn at Spurs. Because he's too fiery and he wouldn't get on with the board. That's my opinion anyway. Poch is the only man I want. He understands the club. He knows what it means. Yeah, which I get. I think if Thomas Frank loses to Villa, he's out. Darren, this is the thing. And that should be the case. You can maybe give him a little bit of a free pass yesterday against Bournemouth because we played much better. We scored 2 goals. We were undone by what was a good strike from Semenyo, right? In the last minute, albeit nobody closed him down again because that's life and our players decide not to close players down that can hit the ball nicely on the edge of the box. But whatever. Maybe you can give him a free pass for that. But like I've already said, if we lose to Aston Villa, we've got nothing to play for. We lose to Aston Villa in the FA Cup. There's a potential we then go out of the Champions League or get knocked out in the playoffs or get knocked out in one of the early knockout rounds. And then we're just playing for the Premier League. And at that point, come the end of February, we could be in a position where we can't really achieve the European places. So that's it, season over. We could be faced with a scenario in which the season is over with 3 or 4 months left. Like, really? And that will hurt the club. The club are already starting to be hurt because fans are not coming down to the stadium as much anymore. There are empty seats galore at Spurs at the moment. And ticket prices are still sky high. Best situation to go for Xavi. I've loved Xavi for so many years. I would love him at the football club. I would love him at the football club. Tellen Odebert don't get into any top 6 team. Eze sits on the bench but can get the info at any top 6 team. That's the difference. I actually think Tell played well yesterday. This is the thing. Luis Campos confirmed that the Enrique news is not true. True, maybe that rules him out. It's a knee injury for Kulusevski. Yo, Ross Pearls, thank you so much for the $10 donation. What an absolute legend. What are you saying? One huge problem with Spurs is how prolific we are with the ball. Any team this wasteful and careless would be where we are. It's just not Frank. So, I mean, Ross, what are you saying? Are you saying that the manager's not the biggest problem here? You think that we don't score enough goals, that we are just struggling in general? Because I agree. And look, I haven't even started on the players yet. But best believe we will talk about the players. But there's just we are just struggling, right? We are really, really struggling in all aspects. It's easier to get behind the players because they're the ones that go out on the pitch and they make it happen, right? You can see if they're putting effort in. But with someone like Frank, with the manager who's just standing there on the side, maybe that's, like a little bit easier to get a bit angry at him. Solanke injury news, we don't even know. Yeah, Ross saying no. I'm not. I'm saying it's many factors, not just Frank, and the manager is woeful too. And that's our issue, Ross. Right? That's one of our biggest issues. It's not just the manager. It's not just the manager. It's the players as well. I mean, if we talk about the squad, that we have, let's be realistic here. Let's paint ourselves as a team that wants to play Champions League football next season or be a competitor in the Champions League, right? Vicario. Is he good enough? Probably not. Destiny Udogie. I actually think he is good enough, but do I think that he's fit enough and available enough? No, I don't. Van der Ven and Romero, I'll say yes. They are Champions League level centre-backs, okay? Regardless of what your opinion is on Romero or whatever, they are at that level. Pedro Porro, he's proved he's good enough before. I think I saw a stat yesterday, and I would have to verify it. But it said Pedro Porro's attempted nearly 150 crosses this season, and he has 1 assist. Is that his fault? Is that other people's faults for not being able to get on the end of it? Move on to the midfield. Bentancur, is he good enough? No. Paulinho, is he good enough? Maybe debatable. Archie Gray, is he good enough? You could argue maybe not right now. Lucas Bergvall, is he good enough? Maybe you could say yes to him then. Xavi Simons, is he good enough? I think so. I think so. And then you go to the attack. Kudus, yes, okay, fine, good enough. Richarlison, is he good enough? No. Kolo Muani, has he shown he's good enough for us yet? No. And on the left, Odobert, Tell, have they proved they're good enough? No. So, what's that? 4 or 5 players that are perhaps maybe around or at the level that we would want them to be able to be a competitor in the Champions League. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. What else is Ali Gold saying? Yeah, Kudus is a bigger one. Tendon and his quad, and don't expect him back until after the March international break. That's so gutting because he's our most creative player. Robbie Keane might be a risk, but that would really be Tadeusz to do. Yeah, agreed. And where is he now? Ferencvaros? He's doing all right there at the moment. Mitch, have you seen that stat about the through balls? We have 9 through balls resulted in just 1 shot, and we're ranked 20th. Yeah, we're the worst in the league at progressing the ball up the pitch. Unquestionably. Oh, God. Try and maybe see what else has been said in this press conference. If it loads up. Yeah, so that's on the team news. Oh, that's all that's gone in there right now. Fine. What would you do? What would you do if you had the decision, if you had the power? Tell me. Get in the comments. Let me know. What would you do? Would you keep Thomas Frank until the summer and reassess? Would you sack him? But if you would sack him, who would you bring in? Tell me. And then we're going to talk about Romero because it's also in the title of all of this and I want to talk about it. Get Harry Kane? If only, my friend. If only. Muani is poor, Xavi is poor. I think Xavi's been given unfair reputation so far. I think he's good. We'll talk about the Romero stuff, shall we? Should we talk about the Romero stuff? I can't believe it. I was asleep when this happened last night. I was asleep. But it's about time, right? It's about time that somebody came out and had the cojones to actually call out the board and this club for what they're putting the fans through. I mean, I know he edited it this morning. I'm going to assume that he was told he either had to take it down or edit it. But the thing is, once it's gone up and people have seen it, what's the point in taking it down? Because people are just going to screenshot that. The style of play should be set in stone, and all the managers and players we sign should fit the model. We waste so much time every time we reset the team. I agree, Kookaburra. I really do, because Spurs don't have any direction. They don't have any sense of direction, where they want to go, who they want to sign, who they want in charge, what style of football they want to play, what they want to achieve. And you're right. That should be the case. We should be clued up on some of these things. Sack him, give Xavi all the keys. I'd give Xavi all of the keys and then some. Boy, oh boy, would I. I really, really would. Keep him, don't sack him. There's no one available to take us to the next level. I mean, Carl, I get where you're coming from, but is that really, really the truth? Would we... Is there really no one out there right now that could come in and make us better than we currently are? Because we are the worst we've been in a long time. God bless Romero talks facts. Agreed. Attracting quality is just getting harder and harder. We really are in a terrible place. And this is the thing. If we reassess in the summer and the season has crashed and burned and everything else in between, who's going to want to join us in the summer? Unless we bring in a big name as the manager, who's going to want to join us? Green Badge saying this club's had a problem since Alan Sugar. Can't speak about him because he got really, really angry at Jamie Redknapp a few weeks ago for talking about him. But yeah, I get it. I get it. Spurs have no style, no system, no identity, and zero creativity. I don't mind losing, but not like this. It's the pain of the losses, right? It's the pain of the losses. You can accept losing if you played really well and maybe you were a bit unfortunate or anything else in between. But the way that we lose, goodness me. But anyway, Romero. Apologies to all fans of you who follow us everywhere. Who are always there and will continue to be. We are responsible. There's no doubt about that. I am the first, but we will keep facing up to it and trying to turn the situation around for ourselves and for the club. At times like this, it should be other people coming out to speak, but they don't, as has been happening for several years now. They only show up when things are going well, and he deleted the bit after that said to tell lies. We'll stay here, working, sticking together, and giving our all to turn things around, especially at times like this. Keeping quiet, working harder, and moving forward all together is part of football. All together, it will be easier. Now, Romero's come under a fair share of criticism this season, right? And I would agree. His levels have not been to the standard that we expect. He's our captain. He's been reckless. He's been hot-headed. He's been a lot of things. But I really, really, really respect him for this. And let's not forget, Spurs could have lost him in the summer. But instead he opted to stay. And then he's unfortunately paying the price for it right now, which is crazy. We're between a rock and a hard place. We have the money in the PSR headroom, but no one wants to play for us. What a friggin' dilemma. Couldn't have said it better myself, Ross. Thomas saying, at present, we couldn't hang on to a news 11-minded lead. Got to be careful. But I get you. I really do get you. I get that. Without a doubt. Simply. Thomas Frank needs to go. Apologies mean nothing now. I agree. I think it's gone beyond that. Keep Frank, but there needs to be more attacking play. A contradiction that might be impossible. It's so crazy, right? Because it's not like Thomas Frank can't set up a team to be attacking. Brentford were really good at it last season. And the seasons before that. But now it's like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Keep Frank, but there needs to be more attacking play. Yeah, exactly. He's signed and we got a load of guff about challenging for the Premier League and Champions League. Don't blame him. Yeah. The Lewis family have no interest in football. Levy had more passion than the family. Wow. Judgments on Levy reserved. I've just seen some new quotes pop up. Frank talking about Romero. So let's have a look. Thomas Frank on Christian Romero after Kuti became a captain. He's done a lot of good things. I said it when I named him the captain, that even though he's an experienced player, he's tried a lot, he's still a young leader. And I think a lot of the things he's done well on and off the pitch, I'm happy with. I'm actually very happy with his performance last night. I think he was a true captain in many ways throughout the game. Speaking at halftime when we were 2-0 down, keep believing, keep doing the right things. But also when you're a young leader, sometimes you make a mistake. Of course, it's good to keep it internally. Johan and I had a good conversation with him this morning about everything, which we of course keep internally. So what I take from that is that Thomas Frank is saying that Romero's statement was a mistake. Ash says it right here. Wasn't a mistake. Somebody had to say it. Somebody had to say it how it is. Yeah, to tell a few lies. Exactly. And I'm glad that Romero did that. I mean, if we have a look. Sorry, my screen's blocked a little bit. If we have a look and watch the video from yesterday, it completely explains. It completely explains why he needed to say something like that. I hate this excuse, by the way. It's difficult in January to certain players. Just get out. Where is the video? God, Chris posts a lot. Here we go. I would like to know what was said to Mickey. I would like to know what was said to Mickey. I really would. Romero is frustrated by this club's lack of ambition. I completely agree with him. Yeah, I get it. I do get it. I know, it is sad. It's sad to see the players and the fans going at it. We don't want to hate the players. We don't want to hate the players. Not one bit. We want the players to do well. I think the anger last night's at the manager. Not necessarily at the players, but something must have been said to Van der Ven. Something must have been said to him. Romero, yeah, exactly. Romero's frustrated by the club's lack of ambition. I completely agree with him. Maybe sign a new contract on a face promises, why he's always said it's all lies. Yeah, if we lose Romero and Van der Ven, we are screwed. Cowardly of Frank not to address what he said, or Vinay, Lang, or Paratici put their head above the parapet. Yeah, agreed. I love this team. We all love Tottenham. We all love Tottenham. But they need help. They do need help. Spurs need help. They need someone to come in and help them. Yeah, it's crazy. It's not like Bournemouth to spend Exactly. They're not in a position to do that. But yeah, Mickey's fuming. Mickey is fuming at something. I would love to know what it is. Yeah. And you've just got freezes live last. How ironic is it that that's the song playing in the background? Because we play that at our stadium as well, right? Dan saying, I'm dreading taking the boy on Saturday. Dan, I'm with you. I think all of us are dreading Saturday. I don't know. I've realised as well, I've completely messed up. It's rail replacement from where I live. It's an evening kickoff. It's probably going to be cold and wet, and we're probably going to lose. That's the mood around the club right now. Absolutely insane. I can't believe it. Spend money, simple. Exactly, but on who? No. On who? So Nicky Van de Ven, then he's off. There you go, that's as close as Thomas Frank's going to get. Everybody's booing, and he's off. 5 seconds of clapping. But then this is the interesting part for me. This is the interesting part for me. This was said on X by James Dickinson on someone calling Van de Ven, "You're shit, I'm pathetic, come over here, you prick," is what I heard. Right, I see. I mean, they're humans, right? And there's a way that you talk to other human beings, right? There is a certain level of respect that you need to have there. In my opinion, there's a certain level of respect that you should have when it comes to talking to players and people in general, right? Who's calling out the bloke behind me who's shouting abuse and complete nonsense the entire game. Yeah, so fair enough. Dan said, if anyone wants to join me in the bar in the South Stand, it'll be more exciting than the game. Your offer's open, Dan. Anyone who's going to the game on Saturday. Arsenal supporter team that gets booed breaks my heart. I know. Mental. Yeah, crazy. But Pedro Porro comes over. And he actually gets clapped. And he comes over, but it's to the same sort of people. And then he gets angry. He gets irritated. He starts chatting to someone as well. That guy in the black hoodie right there. This guy right here. Whoever this is who he's getting frustrated at. But the thing is, I don't like this from the Spurs security, right? The players are too protected. They're way too protected. Spurs, these players, they want to speak to the fans. And they should be allowed to. They should be allowed to have these conversations with the fans about what's going wrong at the club, why they're so frustrated. They shouldn't be shielded and protected from every single bit of criticism and every open confrontation. And Pedro Porro just wants to talk to this guy. But they're trying to drag him away from it all. And I don't like that. See, look, they're just chatting. But obviously that guy looks pretty animated. His mate's trying to hold him back. All of that sort of stuff. And then Paulinho gets involved with talking. I don't mind the players that go over to talk to the fans. Pedro Porro applauds the rest of them. Poor Xavi Simons, man. He's probably thinking, what on earth have I joined? I could have gone to Chelsea. I could have gone to whoever it may be. I've joined this Spurs team and we are terrible. Man, oh man. We are terrible. Yeah, just crazy. So sad to see. So sad to see. We're going to get a die. I think we need a second midfielder as well. Someone like an Adam Wharton or an Elliot Anderson or maybe not a Believer because he's been pretty poor this season. But that type. But yeah, that video is heartbreaking to see. So heartbreaking to see. I mean, I tweeted this yesterday, right? And it got a fair amount of traction. Follow me on X if you haven't already. I said, this club has collapsed. There's no relationship between the fans, players or board. The manager is hated. We play the worst football in our league. Our stadium is a tourist attraction. We are an embarrassment. Am I being too harsh there? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? In that sense, I don't think I'm being too harsh. I really, really don't. But yeah, just crazy. There's more quotes coming out. We'll go back to, yeah, there we go. We'll go back to the actual page so we can read it all in the same place. Yeah, so that's what he said about Romero. Team news, blah, blah, blah. Here we go. This is quite a long one. The bottom line is the manager needs to go. And if it does not happen soon, it will keep boiling over with the fans and turn into a fist fight with the players. It could do. It genuinely could do. I think we need a left-back goalkeeper, a Wharton-type player on the left side. Yeah, I mean, we need a lot. The injuries are mental. Thomas saying, doesn't this all prove conclusively that Conte was 100% correct and nothing has changed? If it hadn't been for Harry and Sonny, the issues we're now facing would have been addressed years ago. I can't disagree with that, Thomas. I genuinely cannot disagree with that. Honestly, you're not wrong. It's the honest truth. And how sad is that honest truth? I mean, this is what Frank's saying now. I think there's a couple of things in it. I think in the last 5 games we played, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Sunderland, Bournemouth, I think it's been consistent. Good competitive performance. Performance for the roof? No. But good competitive, consistent performances. And that's what you need in a long season. Those 5 games should have given us more than 5 points we got. Probably 8, 9 and 10 points. And if you get that from those games, it's different. So that's what we're focusing on. Can we produce performances like last night? Overall, the performance, my job to deal with all the scrutiny. It's no problem. I can face all of the questions. I'll take all of the blame. I'll take all of that. Also, my job is to look through everything and look through the defeat last night. Of course, it was very emotional and tough to take to everyone, but I think it was in many ways good and we deserve more from that. So we just need to keep doing that, especially the last 2 games. It's a minimum of 4 points we should have, if not more. So we just need to keep doing that. And then the next thing is also almost a perfect storm. In a storm, some are building fences and hiding behind it. Others are building windmills and getting stronger and getting more energy and learning from it. I mean, is that a dig? Is that a dig? It feels like it's a dig. It feels like that's a low-key dig at the fans again. Some are building fences and hiding behind it. How do you guys interpret that? I'm not entirely sure I like that. But yeah. I mean, he's ain't half waffling, is he? He is not half waffling. Blimey. This whole idea of players thanking the fans after a loss is asking for trouble. Celebrate wins by all means, but after a loss, just go up a tunnel. I get that, but for the away fans that do the travelling and all of that sort of stuff, they paid a lot of money to go there. I do think they deserve a bit of appreciation. Just my opinion. I don't know, guys. I feel like I've spent a lot of time recently being angry. I've spent a lot of time being frustrated and sitting here thinking like, well, what do we do? Where do we go from here? What's the answer? What's the solution? Because you could rip it all up and go again. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to get the appointment right. You do have to get the appointment right. When was the last time we got an appointment right? In terms of manager. Serious question. When was the last time we got an appointment right? So before Frank, it was Ange. Was he the right performance? Maybe in hindsight, you could look at that and think yes, because he played attacking football and he won us a trophy. But there was a lot wrong with Ange Ball. I don't think any of us deny that. You know, we've had Nuno, we've had Conte, we've had Mourinho, we've had so many others. And it's just tiring. I feel tired. Do you know what I mean? I feel tired when it comes to Spurs at the moment. It shouldn't feel like that watching your football team. You should look forward every week to go into a stadium or watching on the telly at home. Just anything like that. I usually am. But I'm now sat here and I'm thinking, I am dreading the Aston Villa game on Saturday. I know. I want to support my team as well. And yes, I get it, Dan. It could be worse. We could be West Ham fans. And I'm grateful every day that I'm not a West Ham fan because I have family members that are West Ham fans. It could be worse. But it's not far off. It's not far off. The Conte rant wasn't really a rant. It was a state of the club address. It wasn't a sackable offence. It was the attribute that should have come to Jesus moment. Yeah, I mean, Conte was right. Conte was right. I think it's like something a McKinsey consultant would say. Yeah, I know, he does waffle. He does waffle. On trying to sign players amid the sideshow Spurs, I think especially in football, the most important thing is to keep the noise out. Then you can see there's this situation with the post from Kuti. There could be others where it's maybe not that positive or a lot of people speaking. When we want to attract players, we need to tell our as close to possible, unbiased story and a good story about this fantastic, beautiful club and why you should come here to the club. I'm pretty sure that clever players and agents can look through if there's a little bit of noise. I think it's very important to stress that even though there's noise, this club is very aligned. Johan Vina and I are very aligned. Ownership is very aligned. We know it's a tough spell that we need to get through. That last line is damning. The club is very aligned. Johan, Vinay and I are very aligned. Ownership is very aligned. We know it's a tough spell that we need to get through. Buddy, it's your job. And you are failing at your job. You are failing so miserably at your job. Is that not clear for these other guys to see? Are they sticking with Thomas Frank out of stubbornness? Out of just because they were involved in appointing? I don't understand it. I don't, for the life of me, understand it. No, he didn't mention Paratici. Nope, he did not mention Paratici. It's a mess. Oh, it's an absolute mess. Yeah. Preach it. Preach it. And I'm just keeping an eye. He's basically saying in terms of transfers, like, yeah, the noise around Spurs at the moment is not very good, but hopefully players will want to come here still. Do you think we got rid of Son too early as well? Potentially, but I think he ultimately decided it was the right time to go, which I completely respect and understand. I really, really do. I really, really do. I can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe it. Wowzers. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. I feel like we need to improve the mood. Let's do a football quiz or two. We can still chat about Spurs, but let's just get something going in the background as well. Crazy. Let's get us a quiz going as well. See if there's anything interesting. We need a player like that. We need a lot of players. We honestly need a lot of players. A lot of players. Really, really do. We have to get a move on in the transfer market. We've got to get a move on. Because already there's only 3 weeks left. There's already only 3 weeks left. Here's a quiz for you. Can you name Tottenham's 20 most expensive sales in history? Should we stick that on while we continue to moan and mourn about Spurs? Maybe we should. Maybe we should. I reckon we should. We'll do that. Why not, guys? Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe buttons while you're there. Most expensive sales. Kane. Bale. I guess now Johnson. And Dom. No. Who else have we sold recently? Ericsson. Dele. No. No Dele Alli. Modric. Who's that 50 million one? Who's that 50 mil guy? 2017. Berbatov, 30 million. Great shout. Great shout. We kind of moved away from the moaning about Spurs now, haven't we? We're just going to do some quizzes. 2022. Walker, isn't it? Yeah, Kyle Walker. 2025, 30 million. Who have we just sold for 30 million? Who do we... Oh, Son. Son's got to be on that. I think... Oh, God. Alderweireld is on there. 13 mil we got for Alderweireld. No Sissoko. Van der Vaart. No. Edgar Davids. No. Paul Robinson. No. Lloris. No. He ran out of contract, didn't he? Danny Rose. Miss Danny Rose. Wanyama. Who have we sold for £30 million in 20... Who did we sell in the summer? For 30 million quid? Am I being silly? Are injuries an excuse for Frank? We were told he would have challenging on all fronts with the league being our bread and butter. Looks crazy now. I don't think you can ever use injuries as an excuse. Yeah, Keane's on there. Great shout. I don't think we can ever use injuries as an excuse. I really, really don't. I just think it's a lazy excuse. It's a lazy excuse. In my humble opinion. Who else is on here? Who on earth did we sell last summer for 30 million? I'm just trying to think. Oh, God. Brain is dead. Brain is dead. I was trying to go back to front. No Crouch on there. Oh my God, I don't know. I need a hint. Oh no, you have to sign up to get hints, don't you? Bin that off. My ball knowledge is rusty. Right, going back. Oh, Trippier's one. Yeah, got Son. Got him on there already. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you, man. Legend. We sold someone for 17 million in 2025, and we sold someone for 30 million in 2025. For the life of me, who are we on about? Got to be attackers, right? / midfielders. Oh. Harry Winks. Oliver Skip. Skip's on there. 2024. Yeah, Johnson's on there already. Johnson's there already. I can't believe how much of a struggle this is. And G and Kudu. Could be the January 2025 window. That's a whole year ago. For the life of me. Can't figure it out. Can't figure it out. Look, I'm not going to waste time on it. What? Well, this is rubbish then. Matisse Tell. That's just incorrect. Because we've not sold him. Bergwijn 2022. Who's the other 2025? Højbjerg. Of course. Bentaleb, Mason, Chadley, Wimmer were the other ones we didn't get. Shame. You always forget some, don't you? Which is pretty crazy. Can't believe it. Right, guys. I think I'm going to call it there. Because I need to go and edit my video that's going up this evening. So make sure you subscribe over on YouTube. Yeah, and Dembele wasn't on there, crazily enough. But thank you everyone that stopped in, commented. Ross, thank you so much for the